What's up, everybody? So here we are for round 3, Resident Evil Extinction. So out of all the Resident Evil movies, excluding the final chapter because I actually like that movie, this is probably my second favorite. I think this is probably the most watchable out of the 5 previous ones. I'd have to say that Resident Evil Extinction is actually a good film. There's some things about it that are still a little bit over the top, but they kind of like come with the territory of being a Resident Evil movie, but you kind of just, you just kind of run with it. First of all, Mila Jovovich, sexy as ever, and the gentleman that plays Jorah Mormont on Game of Thrones is in this movie. Finally. He's the asshole scientist that's trying to replicate Alice's blood to make like some kind of cure for the T-virus or something or other. And just the whole first scene is like a really cool like psych op moment. Like I really liked that. And I liked the like desolate air of desperation that you felt in the movie. And the fact that they used cigarettes as a way to portray how desolate life was then, that's kind of cool. And I liked that they built off of the first 2 movies a little bit. Like there's like these super zombies that are in the movie. Like they don't just like plod along and like walk really slowly. Like they actually like run at you like they're fucking nuts. Which made for more exciting action scenes with those super zombies. Just overall with the action, it just took it to a higher level, and I was really happy about that. The acting was improved. It's not like great, but it's better than like the previous 2 movies. That's for damn sure. And Mila Jovovich was better than she was in the first 2 movies put together, so there's that. And I like the fact that they chose like this sandy wasteland environment to like, make this the setting of the movie. Because it really like sets itself apart from the first 2. Like it's like a totally different scenario and a totally different mentality to like how the world is. And this is pre-Mad Max Fury Road, so at the time I thought it was a pretty cool choice. And the music's alright. I don't recall it being like particularly bad or particularly good. It was just kind of like, passable. And I like the way that they kind of like upgraded Alice's character, because in the first 2 movies, she's kind of like this superhuman, almost like mutant with like super strength. They gave her telekinesis, which I thought was a little bit over the top at first, but then I'm just like, you know what? No, it's not that bad. However, it is a little bit convenient that that would be one of the things that she's capable of. So I guess I'm kind of like on the fence. Like it made sense that they gave her another power in this movie because, you got to change it up a little. And I liked how this movie actually had a point. Like the main caravan of survivors are trying to get to a settlement that they can, settle. And the mad scientist is trying to find a way to manipulate the T-virus. Like everybody's got like a goal set like fairly early in the movie. And then inevitably their paths like coincide. Like I thought the story like just made sense this time around. However, this movie is a Resident Evil movie, so it has a bunch of flaws. The first of which is the CGI. For the like, end battle monster fucking thingy, they went back to just mostly CGI that doesn't really look all that great. And then there's a scene with a bunch of like zombie infested birds that happen, and I thought the CGI was a little bit meh when that scene happened. The actual scene itself, the way it like played out, I actually thought was good. Like, some people died, some people didn't. Just like the way that it went down was okay, but the way that it looked just didn't really make sense to me. And the fact that Alice and the group from the last movie, like the odds of them meeting up again are like astronomically low. Like that would never happen. Like that was way too convenient. And there's always that fucking trope where it's just like somebody gets bit, they're gonna die, and you know what they're gonna do as soon as they fucking turn. So you had that predictability as usual, so that was a little annoying. And I kind of liked how they were kind of already setting up a sequel almost in the beginning of the movie, because that gives you the feeling like, oh shit, they didn't just like shoehorn something at the very ass end of the movie to set up for a sequel. They kind of like had an idea for it from the beginning, so they kind of play it out in this film so that it will continue naturally, like as if like this is the beginning of an arc, not just something that's like tacked on at the end. But on top of that, they did shoehorn a whole other thing at the end. Like you kind of knew midway through the movie, like, oh, if this makes enough money, there'll definitely be a sequel. So you kind of knew that was going to be a thing, but at the end you're like, I didn't think it was going to be that kind of sequel. Like, really? First glance, the end of this movie, it sounds promising, like initially, like your first like thought about it, but after you think about it for a while, you're like, oh god, no. Please no. But aside from that, I thought this movie was a vast improvement over the last 2. That being said, this movie gets a solid 6.0. If I had paid to go see this movie when it came out, I would have thought it was worth the money. I think I saw it originally like a few months after it came out on like HBO On Demand or something like that. Not expecting much, and then I kind of liked it. Aside from the latest Resident Evil movie, this is probably my second favorite. I would actually recommend that people actually like watch this. But anyway, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this movie? Did you see it back when it came out? Does it hold up? Drop in the comments, let me know what's up. Other than that, just give me a like, subscribe, do all that other bullshit, and I will catch you guys later.